You hear that? That's a week 1 crack. No punts allowed. Adam and Paige. Paige, I have a special beer for week 1. I was just in Wisconsin because I'm in Illinois, Chicago-ish. I just say Chicago, even though I'm not in Chicago. And this is a New Glarus. How do I
don't think you've ever had this one on the show.
This is a Moon Man. Now, this is an important distinction to start this show with. I need to take a sip first. Spotted cow is what everybody raves about, right? Not people in Wisconsin, but visitors. Like, people are trying to sound cool. Like, oh, spotted cow, this is the best. Spotted cow is fine. I have that in my fridge, too. Moon Man. If you're going to Wisconsin, you said, what should I drink? Moon Man is the drink. It is a week 1 celebration. We have made it.
Happy week 1. I cannot believe it's here. Also, just good. Like a funny from this week. Yesterday, you text or messaged me about something. And you're like, yeah, I'll get it in by the end of, like, at like 5 p.m. or something. Thinking that it was like a day early. And I was like, Adam, it's only Tuesday. And legitimately, that's how I felt all week. I'm like, it's only Wednesday. It feels like getting to Saturday this week 1 is quite the struggle. But we did have football, so that was exciting. Week 0 was fun. And also just reminded me that college football is the most perfectly ugly sport there ever is and has ever been.
Yeah, there was some bad. There was some good in there. Picks not so great. Other happenings. People did want to hear some blocks. We joked, you and I, off air, like people apparently are degenerate gamblers. Shout out to all the degenerate gamblers. There will be some locks. Oh, I got COVID.
Yeah.
Again. You know what though? I am Iowa and COVID is Albany, right? We're gonna fuck. Iowa's gonna fuck Albany up just like I fucked this bout of COVID up. Like, I'm back. This is like a 2.5 day stint. How many podcasts have we done where I have had COVID?
I think
4 or
3.
5. Yeah,
3.
It's.
I think at least 3, which is funny. Not funny. I shouldn't say funny.
No, it's funny.
No, but it is something that is just a reoccurrence, and like we fight through, we battle through, we have to. I also want to make it very clear that when you were telling me about this lock stuff, and you were saying there were people that were like, "Oh, we have to do locks on the show." I wasn't trying to ruin the show, you guys. I wasn't this mean old gremlin that was like, we can't do locks. It was more, I was just going to have Adam film himself and put them on social media so you could find them easier.
We're still going to do. We're still
going to do it. But he's also going to talk about them. And he doesn't know this, but I decided on a segment that we'll do when you're revealing your locks. And we'll get to that later in the show. But I'll explain it to the people when we get to that. But we did have week 0. What was your worst pick that you made in week 0?
Well, let's see. I was worst pick. UNLV, that under was really bad. That was pretty disgusting. Because it's just like throughout that, when an under is toast and you're like getting the breaks needed to like have an under stay under, and you're like, okay. And then like within an 11-minute stretch, it was gone. Dan Mullen, I don't think that team's going to be all that good. I think they're going to score. I don't know how good of a year it's going to be for old Dan. I'd say the most frustrated I was, though, was Kansas State, Iowa State.
Yep.
But largely because that game was just a slog. And I was kind of mad at myself because I feel like Kansas State was the obvious play. I did the obvious thing. I actually have no angst really towards Iowa State anymore, except when they play Iowa. They were better. Kansas State did so many dumb things in that game. I mean, that game was full of dumb things.
Yes, lots of dumb things.
That game gave me the most regret. I will say that.
Okay. I think for me, that game was so funny because I forget who it was that made a prediction. The score prediction was like pretty low. And I was like, why would you like predict that? I don't think it's going to be low. I don't actually think it's going to be, and not to say that it was like a shootout, but it was boring. Not boring, but I guess not a really high scoring game. And no one was really scoring until everyone was scoring. And I was like, oh, okay, now we're playing football. That's exciting.
Kind of fun.
Now we're figuring it out. Also, just like sidebar, what a classic way for college football to be in Ireland and then have like a fight breakout between the quarterback's dad and brother or something. I didn't even read the whole details. I just saw the apology. And I mean, I saw the video. And like, we don't have to get into that, but it's just funny to me that like, that's how we start off the college football season. Like the most American college football way is with that.
My other takeaway, by the way, is Stanford, I think, is going to be holy shit bad. Like, holy shit bad. Andrew Luck he cannot go to games anymore because what they're going to show is like Stanford do a dumb play and then Andrew Luck just sitting on the sideline like, that was a really dumb play. Like they did that so many times through that game. Like poor Andrew just catching, like he's just getting his hands on this thing. I actually think it's awesome and he's very smart, knows football. They'll be fine. It is sort of amazing when you think Stanford like 8-ish years ago and now, like when you go through that schedule, there's not a lot of wins on there. There may be a win on there, maybe.
David Shaw had them like nationally relevant in top 25 for quite some time.
Spitting out like offensive linemen, 5-star offensive linemen in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, legit skill position players in the NFL. Like,
so
bad.
It is brutal. And I do feel bad for Andrew Luck because I love him. I think he is the best. I also just recently watched, I don't know how I came across it, but it was a clip of Gruden talking about Andrew Luck and Spider Y Banana. That shit was so funny.
He can't. He's got to start wearing like disguises because they need something interesting about Stanford. That game was so poorly coached. You know, the other thing I got to do though, Paige, as a collective, because I could feel the angst. We were sitting down here. I was watching it with neighbor Jason. We're going to be doing that for Nebraska here. I'm excited, but the dumb shit in football really does drive you crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like the dumb play calls, the lack of timeouts, the muff punts. Like a football game is full of really dumb shit, and I was letting it get to the best of me, and I just wanted points to Stanford, Hawaii, and yet still that game was an agonizing watch on so many.
Which is funny because I love the dumb stuff. Like that's what makes college football great.
Unless you have money on it, yes.
Yeah, which is changes your perspective on things.
True,
for sure.
True.
Right. Let's talk about week 1, maybe some season-long predictions that we have. Just because one, I think we owe the people some preview content.
So sad the way you say it like that.
No, it's just funny. Oh, there's the train.
I don't hear
train.
It. Oh, now I hear it.
There's the train.
This is the Purdue part of the podcast.
Yes, the Purdue part. Like, speaking of going to holy shit bad.
Yeah. No, moving on.
No, that's all we need to say about Purdue. That's the recap. Okay, so that's our opinion. We've got some news that we're going to talk about first and then give our opinions on conference champs, national champs, maybe some bold predictions, and then week 1 preview.
So organized.
Let's start with thank you very much. Honestly, I'm on like a new organized kick, but we'll get to that and random shit. Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan. I'm just going to call her Jordan because I think that's fun.
Careful now.
Well, I mean, she's not going to come for me. I don't think I'm that opinionated about her. I kind of do what you want. However, I am going to have an opinion on this. They're trying to trademark Gold Digger. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
And like there's a bunch of other things that they're trying to trademark. But one is Gold Digger, which like I'm sure Kanye has something to say, right?
Well, he's got a lot to say. Yeah.
Never mind. Sure Kanye, don't say anything. Just
but yes, this seems like it would be problematic given some of his past works where he was one of the greatest artists of a generation. Yes, I would agree.
Yes. We'll give our rap takes in another episode.
I've got takes.
They've also filed for the trademarks Chapel Bill, Bellustrator, Trail of Salty Tears, No Days Off, and the Belichick Way.
All right. Now, this shit happens all the time. Famous people applying for trademarks. Like, yes. It's pretty common. You hear about some of them. You don't hear about all of them. Gold Digger seems like the one that is probably going to get the most attention.
Apparently, there's going to be merch.
What? Like, okay. How does this end? This is a week of celebrity engagements and celebrity love. We'll talk about that.
We absolutely will talk about that.
So, but where does this end? Like, how does this?
I mean,
where do we go from here? Right? other than week 1.
Here's the thing, is like nothing is going to surprise us anymore about their shtick. Like her wanting to create a line of jewelry and keychains with Gold Digger on it doesn't surprise me in the slightest based on what we've already seen. Bill Belichick really not caring and going to be focusing on football is what's going to happen. And I think
I don't know if that is going to happen. I don't know. Previous Bill Belichick, yes. But
well, here's the thing. Even if this goes so badly at UNC, okay, I don't think Bill Belichick cares. I don't think he
cares.
I think he knows that his legacy is already cemented, that he literally does not care what he does from now on. And that's why this has gone on and become the animal of a story as it has, because it legitimately doesn't affect the fact that he's one of the greatest coaches in the NFL ever. College football seems like people are, I think, remember when people were worried if Coach Prime was going to take it seriously? If you would have asked us 10 years ago, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders is going to go to college football, so is Bill Belichick. Who do you think will take their job more seriously and be more focused on football? No one would ever have said it was Coach Prime, and I think it is.
I don't know how you bet American dollars on North Carolina TCU. By the way, I really tried to get that.
TCU.
I get to cover that game. Bleacher Report. I'm super excited about that because win lose, like we're all eating. It's content, right? Like this content's gonna be delightful. So
yes,
but like this is go time for this shit. And he named a starting quarterback today, and yet that is going to be buried behind Gold Digger. Which is this woman like? What's I can't really say this. I can only talk about quarterbacks.
Ask a question where I could say things. Yes.
Is she out of her mind?
Well, no. I think she's kind of a genius. I mean, she's capitalizing on every ounce of money that she could possibly get out of this. People are going to talk about her regardless.
Financially genius, but is she
financial genius? Yes, smart this way. But I mean, if she's making all that money and money makes her happy,
true. There's levels of insanity. I mean, all of it. Bill's like to do this profession for as long as he did and as well as he did. He's nuts too. So
everybody has their own things, and I'm impressed with how much she doubles down. Like, there is no fear of anyone talking about her or saying anything. They don't really care. I mean, I guess there is a fear of what they say, but she's going to use it to her advantage in every way possible. So I find it to be incredibly smart and strategic. Although a little sad because it feels a little take advantage of an old man, but also he's fine. He's Bill Belichick. He's okay.
Oh, I think he's happy. Yeah. He's going along. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know that, but he's got money. I will say this. Bill Belichick and UNC being relevant, like that was a fun thing with Deion Sanders. It was such a big deal. I mean, how many goddamn times did we write about Deion? And oh, by the way, how much did people read it? I mean, that's the other thing. It got tiresome, but people still read it. So if they win Monday and they look functional, which is very possible, by the way, TCU isn't great. North Carolina has historically been a decent team. Add in the greatest coach of all time. Transfer portal, not bad. In a conference where you should win a bunch of games if you're functional, it would be great. This, however, it still kind of freaks me out. And yet the storylines that keep coming of this are getting increasingly kind of weird.
I think it's just going to keep happening, and I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think anymore. I think I'm just not going to be big shocked every time something comes up. Let's talk about Coach Prime, because during the offseason, he was not with the team. We later found out he had bladder cancer, correct?
Yeah.
And had to have his bladder, like a bladder removed and a different bladder put in, a robotic bladder. He's talked about porta potties on the sidelines, but it is interesting because, I mean, this whole breakdown of everything that happened and how it happened was so interesting because, one, I'm surprised it didn't leak out. I know people are obviously very sensitive to information, but I will tell you, I was at Big 12 Media Days and everybody was like, why, like, Coach Prime's going to be here. He's only doing an interview at his press conference. There was no mumblings of like, hey, there's something else going on. Of course, we know his health, but no muttering of whether it was super serious, whether he had surgery. I mean, for a guy like Coach Prime, who is so famous, it is incredible that it did not come out. For also, like, obviously the team didn't know the extent of it, but I think it's literally because no one except for very, very close people to him knew the extent of it. And like, of course, he comes with a posse, but I think it was like the innermost circle of his posse that was fully aware of this. I mean, even his sons weren't. But I think for a guy that, you know, obviously that gets a lot of criticism, that was a really scary thing. And I'm excited to see him coaching still. I mean, he obviously makes college football more exciting. There's no denying that. But yeah, that whole initial part of it was just kind of crazy this offseason, a storyline that I feel like we should acknowledge that, like,
Oh, yeah.
He's dealing not only, and he's continued to show that he genuinely cares about the players at Colorado and all of that, even with his sons not being there. And I think that was a big conversation. So with all that health stuff, to still be caring about football and these things, he could have easily stepped away and he chose not to.
Well, to take everyone behind the curtain, when he did his press conference, you and I talked. We're like, are we going to write on this? Should we write on this? And we decided not to. Bleacher Report decided not to. And you and I had talked about it. And it's really, these things are always interesting journalistically. And the more I thought about it, like, why write? Like, I thought there was an area of like incredible vulnerability, like doing a service to men in particular, because this is a lot of what he was talking about is go get yourself checked. And for a guy that has been one of the greatest, maybe the greatest athlete of our generation, certainly up there with the Bo Jacksons, however you want to phrase it, and a guy that is selling sunglasses and is like just oozes swag,
bling,
and is polarizing. This was like he's sitting there with his doctors and he's talking about wearing Depends, and I thought it was such a I thought it was the most powerful moment of the offseason, and I hope people can let their guard down a little bit for this guy. Admittedly, we have been critical over time. We've also acknowledged the greatness that's happened. Not to mention all this shit is going on. He's got his son going through the draft ringer and the post NFL draft ringer and still going through that stuff, concealing this from his family, and doing all this. So I have a deep appreciation for Deion that I didn't have, admittedly. I actually really appreciate what he's done on the football standpoint is incredible. And he's one of the coolest goddamn athletes ever. None of that would have changed regardless of what happened in Colorado. But now there's a side to him I hope that people can celebrate, because I thought it was incredible. And again, it hits a little differently when you hear this shit. Like it does. I'm 40 now, sadly. Like, we got to start talking about it. Like, it hits differently, and to let your guard down the way he did, I think it's incredible. And oh, by the way, like, they are, not to turn a very serious discussion into a gambling discussion, but I think they lost so much talent. They're only a 4-point dog against Georgia Tech, who's a team that we like a lot. To me, that doesn't say anything other than people think they're going to be really good again, despite the fact that they lost like an elite player in Travis Hunter and his son, who was an incredible quarterback, at least at the college level.
Yes. So they did name a starting quarterback. So Caden Salter, who is the transfer quarterback from Liberty,
really
is
good
now starting over the true freshman Juju Lewis. One, I think this is just like a smart move even for game one. He did say that there's a possibility that they could play, both quarterbacks this year. And I don't think he was BSing on that, by the way. Like, I think one thing I will give him credit for is maybe being a little bit more real about some of these conversations than a lot of coaches would be. But I think when you're going against a team like Georgia Tech, who is going to be very good and is a tough competition, it's not the time to put that pressure on your true freshman. And I do think it is interesting that he's going with the transfer quarterback instead.
Who by the way, like, has performed really well. Like, this guy over the last couple of years has been a pretty big deal. Competition's going to get better now, but like, he's had major success, played elite teams, played, again, I thought it was going to be a no-brainer call. The fact that was like that he deemed this to be relatively close, I think, is fascinating. Now, is he doing that to keep the young QB happy and keep him on the roster. Who knows? But regardless, I think it's really interesting the way that this is being talked about. I think it's really interesting, by the way a lot of young quarterback battles are being talked about. Like Ryan Day at Ohio State, Julian Saint pulled away at the end. Notre Dame agonized over their quarterback position, right? Like, the quarterback acknowledgement varies greatly, team to team. This one for Deion seemed to be genuinely tough, which could be either really good news or really bad news. We talked about that with Notre Dame as well.
Yeah. Also, he brought them both to media day. Like, that's like not normal. No, I just want everyone to know that's like so not normal when there's a quarterback competition. It's not what they do. Obviously, you bring like a seasoned vet who like this is their last year, okay, but like a true freshman who's a 5-star that people have been talking about don't come to media days. So just a heads up, that's usually not the case. I will say it's a quarterback conversation I do want to have. I wonder if we are going to actually, I think this year is going to be a perfect example of whether a true freshman, like what the formula really is at the quarterback position for college football, because we see like a place like Michigan where they're obviously going with a true freshman. They do have a transfer coming in. You've got, a young starter, first-time starter for Ohio State. You've got a lot of first-time starters that aren't transfers that have come up through the system, whether it be, Ole Miss or Alabama, a lot of SEC schools. But you also see on the flip side, like a John Mateer that's coming to Oklahoma, and how much of that hype and how big of a transition is Oklahoma going to make this year with him. We saw obviously last year, Will Howard, that was the storyline was, transfer QBs. We've also seen now how much they're getting paid. I mean, the going rate for, a top one is $3 million. We've got Carson Beck at Miami. How does that work? And is it worth going in the portal and spending all of this money? Is it worth it at the recruitment level? How do you develop? I think we're going to learn a lot about what might actually work and where it might work. I think it's going to be different for a lot of different programs, but I think the tiers of programs, it will be very similar.
The NFL, at least right now, is saying, hang out, play quarterback, and then, bounce around to find the right fit. Cam Ward was going to go pro. Didn't. Came back to college, went to Miami, number 1 overall. Jaden Daniels, obviously, bounced around a little bit, went to LSU. Go back to Joe Burrow, right? So it varies. Like, there's a CJ Strouds of the world. Like, but I think what's really interesting is, because you're totally right. Like, you've got a couple of different ways to go, and I think depending on what program you are and what options you have, it's going to vary year to year. Julian Sand, we'll talk about him a lot here in a bit, but Ryan Day is banking on him being really good now and exceptional, elite next year. So 2 years of him, kind of like the CJ Stroud, like, kind of flow to it. Like, let's get this guy seasoning and then let's go. Arch Manning, who knows, right? Like, Arch is a different example entirely. I totally agree with you, though. I think that this balance will change year to year. What's not going to change is you're going to have quarterbacks like a John Mateer who plays at a smaller school or a school out of sight.
Smallish school, I guess.
Smallish school, but gets a great opportunity and then crushes it, right? Or doesn't crush it. But we've seen players like him before do it. So I agree with you that the narrative of this, not that this is an NFL draft podcast, it will never be.
But, I already did one of those.
Yeah, it's fine. We're good. We like college. But it is interesting because the shape of how football is played and how they recruit is going to largely depend on what happens here in the next 12 months or so.
Yeah. All right, let's make some predictions for the season before we get into our week 1 predictions. So start with the Big Ten. National champ has come out of the Big Ten the last 2 years. Do we think?
Sorry. Back.
Sorry. No, it's okay. You're not in trouble. It is totally okay. This is a safe space. I have not changed. We're still allowed to go off the rails.
Thank God.
You and I picked the same Big Ten champ, and I'm actually surprised you are on the same page as me because I thought you'd be a little contrarian. I will reveal that we picked Penn State, both of us, which I think is a contrarian pick if you're not a college football analyst and you don't want to go against the system here because it's pretty obvious on paper that they have the best roster and the pieces that we saw be successful. However, in the Big Ten, you don't think you think Ohio State has a better roster?
I do not think right now. By the way, if you're on YouTube, you need to subscribe to our. If you're not, go subscribe because what Paige is reacting to, I was making a face. It was kind of like slightly disapproving, like.
Fine, I'll give my explanation of why I think Penn State would be the
they
Big
have
Ten
the best.
champions.
They have the best roster. By the way, interestingly enough, Ohio State is favored to win the conference, which is shocking.
Yes,
to me.
Gambling wise, yes,
but they're
if
very,
you look
very.
At any
it's a coin
anywhere
flip.
else,
it's a coin flip, more or less.
I would say the pieces that Penn State has,
established pieces. Yes. I'm in. You can't disagree with that.
Also, I mean, they did get in the portal and plug in holes. They didn't go like, let's do a full overhaul. It was plugging in holes, especially at the wide receiver position, which is great. But yes. Of course, any video that we have done, any video that I have done in the last 3 months has literally always had the same reaction when I talk about Penn State. And it's like, James Franklin is still their coach. So what are your vibes after last year's performance in the college football playoff with Penn State and more, I guess, James Franklin in the evaluation of...
I mean, they fucked that game up so bad. I'm still pissed about that Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still on tilt. That cost me a lot of money. I was infuriating. I just watched that game again for some reason. I was still pissed off.
Yeah.
So it's funny. This is a really poor way of telling you that I believe this team is going to win the conference. I think the James Franklin stuff is a little overblown. He's earned it. I think it's tough for coaches. Weird shit happens in football games. Like, James Franklin's a good coach. I don't know if it's completely under his control when Drew Hauer loses his goddamn mind and throws a ball that he absolutely shouldn't. The only hesitation I have, because you're right, the roster is the best, and that's what we're banking on. I think back-to-back games, Iowa and Ohio State in back-to-back weeks. Like, look, Iowa is not in the class.
I think they have a
buy in between. But like, those two road games back-to-back are brutal in terms of games. Like, Iowa is not the class of the division, but it's a really tough place to play. And Penn State and Iowa always play a really stupid-ass football game. And and then playing at Ohio State is hard. So that's the one I struggled with, because the rest of the schedule, like, their out-of-conference schedule sucks. They play Oregon at home. Early, and I think that's good for Penn State, by the way, because I think Oregon will be better later in the year. You play at UCLA. No, I mean, this is, but now, like, if James Franklin doesn't win the goddamn conference this year, because Ohio State's not going to get any worse. Jeremiah Smith will be back next year. Julian Sain will probably be better next year.
Oh, Ohio State's going to be a lot better next year. I mean, not to say that they're not good this year. They are.
They could be great.
It's just like looking at this schedule, like I said, Oregon, I mean, this is a walk to, this sounds bad because I should be careful with using lock and walk to the college football playoff, but you lose to Oregon early, okay? But I don't think they lose to Oregon. I think Oregon's coming to Penn State. I think they win that game. But even if you did, it's early. Okay, then you play UCLA at UCLA, play Northwestern at home. Like you said, they go to Iowa, then they have a bye. Then they play Ohio State.
Yep.
I don't think they'll lose to Indiana. They get Indiana at home. It's like you get Nebraska at home. So all the games, it would be trap games if you played them away. Like if I was looking at this schedule in the reverse, I'd be like, okay, Nebraska and Indiana, probably 2 trap games that you can get yourself in trouble with. But I think, one, where these games are, so like in terms of like weeks, early, what is it, week 4, week 5?
Yeah.
That they play Oregon, and then the first week in November. So the college football playoff rankings, the first rankings will come out after this Ohio State, Penn State game. And let me just say this, the committee is like, say whoever loses that game is not going to fall that far because they lost a tough game against a really good team.
Yes.
So like, I don't think it's going to really impact their setup into the college football playoff. But in terms of winning the conference, I do think Penn State wins it.
You know, Ohio State with a young quarterback has to play at Washington, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan, which has been a real problem. Let's be honest.
To say the least.
No, it's been a problem. So I
Also, speaking of easy schedules, Michigan.
I know. I love that you're banging this one home.
Oh, I
Is
will
that
bring
going
it
to
up.
be is that the team you're going to piss off most during the season?
No, I keep saying they're going to get into the college football playoff.
Yeah,
I
but
literally
it's
keep
like,
saying it over and over again.
yeah, but you're saying it in a way that's like you're going to do fine because it's so easy, you fucking losers.
If they mess it up, I will dance on their grave. Yes, that will happen. That will be part of it. Absolutely.
That was for us.
That was Ole Miss.
It was Ole Miss. It was Tennessee the years prior. Like
figure it out.
We get teams on our ass. All right,
we do, but
we gotta move. All right, so we are on Penn State. By the way, you and I were talking about this because you were doing Ohio Big Ten rankings, for Bleacher Report. I think it's a really interesting conference because I do think you have some teams, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, maybe Washington. Who knows? I mean, Washington's Nebraska. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
I picked them as a sleeper to make the college football playoff in that video, by the way. If you're a Nebraska fan, actually, neighbor Jason, go into the BR app, find that video, comment, and say thank you so much, Paige, because I know everybody. It's going to be miserable in the comments, but that's fine.
No. Well, we'll talk about that later. But, all right, so we like Penn State. You a little bit more than me. I'm a little sheepish. Not for Penn State. Not for James Franklin-y reasons. For Ohio State reasons.
Fair.
Let's go to the ACC.
Yes.
We are
unanimous.
We are both Clemson, and I am bullish on Clemson. To say the least. I am very, very bullish. All right. So from a Clemson standpoint, all right, who gave you the most pause in this conference outside of Clemson?
Like who gave me the most pause of like who could actually be good? I think you know the answer to this because I texted to you the other morning.
That's right. Good.
I convinced myself that Duke could not win this conference, but could actually play in the conference championship game. So, like, first of all, their quarterback that they got from Tulane is actually very good. They play Illinois to start the season, which is like, we're going to see what level, or I guess not to start the season, but in non-conference. They also play Tulane, by the way, at Tulane, which is hilarious.
25-1.
I didn't realize how much they were returning defensively, but the rest of their ACC schedule. So they've got NC State at home. They go to Syracuse. They go to Cal. Sorry, that was mean, Cal. Then they play Georgia Tech. They play Georgia Tech at home. And then they, again, just like we were talking about earlier, they get a bye and then they play at Clemson. So I think you lose that game at Clemson. But again, that's the week before the first college football playoff rankings. And I just think that's going to set them up. Then they play at UConn. They get Virginia at home. They go to UNC, and then they get Wake Forest at home. Where like Georgia Tech, okay. Illinois, okay. Tulane, okay. Like those two at the very beginning of the season we'll be able to tell, but that doesn't matter when it comes to conference. So conference play, you're like, I mean, Georgia Tech, I think they play Georgia Tech tough. Because also that defense versus what Georgia Tech's offense looks like and what they play. I mean, I don't know. Like that to me, I really did convince myself the other day. I'm sure there's other teams like, the Miamis, all of that. But I really did, after looking at it, go, I actually think Duke could like low-key sneak in and say they get an upset over Clemson, pull a Clemson on Clemson and win the ACC championship game. You're in.
So I like that answer, by the way. The schedule, it's really about paths. The team, I feel bad because I feel like SMU has earned the right to be the team, but I kind of like Louisville. I think Moss and Braum. Yeah. And then to your point about schedule, all right, they play at Miami. They play Clemson, but they play them at home. They play at SMU. So it's tough. The back half has some teeth, but like I really like Braum. I think they're him with a good quarterback, and I think Moss has a chance to be. It's like really interesting to me. So, and then SMU, that's a really tough one. Like, there's a couple of teams that were just kind of like they were fucking awesome last year. They have their quarterback back. That team is pumping. Like, there's no reason not to like them. The team that I just don't like, and let's just cut to the chase, is Miami. I just don't. I shouldn't say I don't like. I don't love.
Yeah.
Carson Beck was inconsistent and is coming off major surgery, and they're replacing the number 1 overall pick. I just feel like and their coach is frankly a liability. I don't know. Maybe Miami will surprise. We'll find out this week, I guess. But I got to see it to believe it with this team.
I will say that, yes. Do you think that Carson Beck's ceiling is as high as everyone is making it out to be? Because I feel like, sure, we saw him be pretty good at Georgia, but I don't know what I think the ceiling is for him is as high as everybody else does.
He's a big, I mean, not to be
big body.
This is not an NFL draft podcast, but let's do an NFL draft. Yeah, big body. Like, no, he looks the part. Like he does. He throws.
Yep.
Like when he's playing well, he's playing really well. But even at Georgia, like there were some games last year, like when he got going, it was pretty. But
yeah.
No, I don't. I think there's a lot bigger ceilings out there, and again, pretty serious surgery. Like this is not surrounded with
and
the
a
same
breakup,
talents,
you know,
and a breakup, and a serious breakup. Yeah, like guys going through a lot. By the way, his biopic is like, have you seen like the Miami biopic? I'm on ESPN.
No.
Looks
you
like
mean Bleacher Report? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, like I stumbled on on Bleacher Report his bio. It just looks like if you're looking at like what Miami looks like in a bio, like there it is.
Okay. That is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not buying Miami.
We'll let the people look up that on their own.
Yeah.
Let's do Big 12, which is where we differ outside of national champion. This one, when we were talking about ACC and Big 10, and we can even talk about it in the SEC in terms of schedule, like there are paths. In the Big 12, there's no such thing as a path in terms of your schedule. It is a just straight toss-up. Like, I don't know who, I'm sure there are teams, obviously there's strength of schedule metrics out there so we can see who has the easiest. But, I mean, looking at some of the paths to get to a Big 12 championship, it could literally go either way, which is why I think you and I have some pretty extreme answers.
Yeah, like, fuck it. Like, there's definitely an element of, like, why not in mind. Yeah. I have Kansas.
And I have Utah.
And you have Utah. So Kansas, by the way, is 12-1. Utah's 6-1. Kansas looked good against Fresno State. Utah has an interesting game, I think, against UCLA. We'll talk about that. So Arizona State has probably earned the right to be the favorite.
Yeah.
But they're not a huge favorite. Plus 550. Utah's 600. Texas Tech is actually 6-1 as well. That's a little surprising how much love they're getting. Baylor at 7-1. Iowa State at 8-1, TCU at 850. That's also a little surprising. This conference is a mess. So for me, a Kansas team that lost a bunch of close games is going to be better, I think. We already saw that they look good. The only thing in week 0 that I'd say, because I have some data to operate off of, is like you got to get Jalen Daniels to not put himself in harm's way. Again, like even in that game, it was like, oh, dear God, get down, or, stuff like that. So, I just like that team. I like that coach. I like their talent. And to your point, like you could pick one of like 8 teams here. Like, what about BYU? I know they have a new quarterback, but like that team lost 2 games last year by combined like less than 10 points.
Yeah.
So it's a wild conference. Going to make for great content.
Yeah, I chose Utah simply because, one, Kyle Whittingham dominated
He's a beast.
The Pac-12 for so long. And one, he's on his way out of college football. He's made that very known, and I think he wants to go out on top. And so I think this year, coaching-wise, he's made the decisions for this to be maybe his final year.
I didn't know that. Maybe, man, like I didn't.
Yeah, he named his, I think it's their defensive coordinator as his predecessor already. Like they already know, like pass torch. He said, "When I'm ready, this is who's taking
guys
over."
Do that forever.
I mean, he considered. I talked to him at Big 12 Media Days, and he's like, I considered it. I was considering it after the last year, but like I just couldn't leave with that being the case. You know what I mean? That performance being what we left at Utah, especially because of how consistent they have been. But
I bet you he's got a great lawn. I bet you Kyle Whittingham has a great lawn.
He seems just like such a good dude.
He just looks like a guy.
Besides
the fact that
one time he punted on, like, did a fake punt on Arizona, like 30 points or something like that.
Oh, here we go.
Outside of that, we don't have to talk about it, but they're bringing in Devin Dampier from New Mexico, and his offensive coordinator also coming. So kind of a big, exciting, I think, new revamp of Utah, because what we've seen with Utah, obviously Cam Rising stuff was not fun to go through all last year and just figure out what was going to happen for them offensively. They were terrible, but I don't think a Kyle Whittingham team is going to be bad defensively. So I'm curious to see offensively if this moves into, a good direction, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
Dampier is really a fun player that I think is going to become a lot more fun to a lot more people.
Yes.
And I guess I know I will talk about Arizona State briefly. Sam Levitt, Jordan Tyson, Teddy Dillingham, going to be a problem.
Always.
So
they're returning I want to say 67% of their offensive production or something. It might even be
not the Scattaboo part, which is a big one.
Yeah, which does suck.
But it is the most fun conference in college football. It's not the best, and they probably are. Well, who knows? Gets really interesting playoff wise. Not going to do that yet, I promise. But regardless, it's going to be entertainment abound. And the first week we had Kansas looked really good, and we had a very sloppy but very fun game between Kansas State and Iowa State. So buckle up. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to learn a lot about Baylor against Auburn. We're going to learn a lot about this conference, I think, in short order. All right, SEC champion. I am going to change my answer on the fly.
Wow.
I wrote in the wrong answer. I've given it some thought.
Now, can I guess who?
Yes, that's now. But hold on, this is a 2-beer podcast. While I'm getting a beer, can we still do this, or is there structure to it?
No, go ahead.
You still look so disappointed. I don't like that.
By the way, I feel like he's going to pick Alabama.
We're back.
Okay.
I don't like the disapproving Paige face, though.
No.
No. Now, please guess. By all means.
I did tell the people what I thought you were going to do.
While I was gone?
Yeah.
Oh, this is some game show shit. I'm in.
So I picked a team that I think you're going to say. There's another team that's likely that you're going to say, but I think that one's too obvious. I think, are you going to pick Alabama?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Georgia, obviously the other choice, but I think you are, after doing some research, doing a lot of prep for this season, have decided that Alabama's going to be back doing Alabama things.
Yeah, this is tough. This is really, really hard. I don't know why I love Texas. I don't know why I'm a little Texas hesitant. I don't have a really good reason for this. The defense is going to be exceptional. I'm a little worried about Arch. I am a little worried about Arch.
I'm really not. I don't know why I'm not. Maybe I should be. It's not. Here's the thing is maybe because my expectations of what Arch needs to be are lower than maybe a lot of other people.
That actually is, but you're very, that's a very adult thing to say. This is not going to be an adult conversation.
Because we're going to talk about the game this weekend, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents on who I think it matters more for. And I think the answer will surprise a lot of people. But I am choosing Texas not only as my SEC champion, but I'm choosing them as my national champion. But I will let you give your spiel on Alabama.
So, by the way, quick SEC odds, and then I'll spiel. Plus 270 Texas, plus 330 Georgia, plus 380 Alabama. So really tight.
Yes.
And then you got LSU at 7-1, and then Texas A&M at 15-1, who I do like. I was not going to pick them, but I think if you're interested in a little value, I like A&M plus 1,500 a lot more than I like Ole Miss.
I'm convinced they're cursed because you don't have that much money and not win.
They have a fun quarterback, but Alabama. I think DeBoer is a winner. I think the roster is really loaded. Everything I've heard about Tyson has been, or their quarterback in, not Tyson. I was thinking Arizona State in Simpson. What's his fucking name? That's how much I like him.
Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson. I was thinking Jordan Tyson, Ty Simpson. We'll get going. I haven't even started my second beer, so I don't want to hear it, chat. I love all the pieces, and I think defensively they're going to be better. It's kind of a vibe. It is kind of a vibe. Texas is going to be awesome. This is a loaded team. Man, they've got some really unbelievably good defensive players. I am really excited to see what a guy like CJ Baxter can do at running back. I loved hearing Sark talk about him because they were like, we're going to go slow. And then he's like, no, actually, we're not. He's fine. Like, it was like so not what you hear from coaches. Like, actually, we need to ramp him up because he looks very good. Texas is very much there. This is just a feeling for Alabama. And both have pretty brutal schedules. I mean, that there's just no getting around it. Both.
No, when you're in the SEC, yeah, it's a rough life.
It's a rough life. So it starts. It starts for both pretty much immediately. Obviously, Texas way more so, but Alabama, Florida State is no gimme. Depending on what the hell Florida State looks like. Good luck.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the people what your national champion is?
It is Clemson. I'm doing the thing with Clemson. I gotta say, Clemson's feeling a little trendy. I liked Clemson before other people started liking Clemson, and I've been watching other
2 years
fuckers
ago.
do it. Yeah, no, but like I'm a little nervous about that. But Clemson will be my.
We do have the clips that you were on Clemson 2 years ago, so I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah, no,
you could see it into the future.
Absolutely.
What's the name of what is it? Notre Dame? Is that his name?
Who's that?
The person that sees into the future?
Nostradamus.
Not Nostradamus?
I think you said Notre Dame. Like you were.
Did I
like
Notre Dame?
No, I thought it was Nas. No, Notre Dame is what you call a drunk Notre Dame fan in the third quarter of a game that they're not supposed to lose.
What did I say? You know how you did that with Ty Simpson and Jordan Tyson? My brain just, because I was thinking Notre, and I also was thinking the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is Quasimodo.
By the way, that's the team you like. That's the podcast you want to listen to. The podcast where they can't name the starting quarterback of the team you're really talking up. Like that's the one.
Wait, that was so funny. Nostradamus? Is that his name?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Nostradamus.
Sorry.
Nostradamus.
I feel like I am really
Notre
disappointed. Notre Dame.
That's what's called when Notre Dame shits their pants in a game. They shouldn't. Like this week, they're going to Notre Dame themselves.
Okay. So let's talk week 1.
Yes.
We both have different answers for this, which I love when we do this. What game are we going to learn the most from? I picked the Notre Dame-Miami game because I want to know. I think I'll be able to evaluate, which is weird to say this about Notre Dame because of history, but I think I'll be able to see their playoff hope in week 1, maybe a little bit better. I just want to know what each of these teams are going to look like.
Yes, I agree. I think that would be a really good answer. I almost picked LSU Clemson too because LSU is a team to me that I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I think Clemson
vibe-wise. But I'm going to go Ohio State Texas because, for 2 reasons. A, all eyes on the quarterbacks. I really want to see Julian Sand, and if he's good, then Ohio State is maybe could pick up right where they left off. And the Arch show on the road to me is maybe we're going to unfairly judge how he performs, because that's what we do. You got a roster that's been remade. You have a roster that's seemingly built for this. What's gonna showcase in week 1? It will probably lie to us either way. I think gathering all the intel we can, but there is a bunch of different games you could go for this spot for sure.
Yeah. In Texas, Ohio State, who do you think has more to prove?
I think it's Texas. I think that Sark now has Ryan Day did the thing. He won a national championship. And so I know this is not a question about coaches, but Ohio State's coming off a national championship and they had 14 players drafted. So I think there's an acceptance Ohio State fans don't accept anything. They're a bunch of ruthless motherfuckers, but there's an understanding that maybe they'll take a step back. And so
is there?
Yeah, well, maybe not for them. For, again, most adults can say, hey, this is the team that Sark has been building for 5 years.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's been, Texas is back. Last year, we got close, and they got awfully close. And so now you got to win this thing. You got a defense that's built to win it now. You might have an offense that's built to win it now. I think the answer is Texas. I think there's a lot of pressure, which is a slightly different question, but similar results.
See, and I disagree. I think it's Ohio State. I think you're coming off a national championship. Ryan Day, sure, he did the thing. The expectation is that you do the thing every year now. And it's not like, sure, he lost talent, but it's not like that's not a very, very talented roster. I also think if you're Texas, you have Arch starting. Yes, there's a lot of hype, and sure, there's national championship hype, but you're going to Columbus to play Ohio State, who just won a national championship. If you lose that game, it's like, yeah, that's a really tough game. That's a hard-fought loss. It's week 1. I don't know. That's where my thought process goes. I think Texas fans may not, be on the same vibe as this, but as a national football scope, and we can look at it that way, I think there's bigger expectations and there will be bigger overreaction, I think, to Ohio State than Texas. I think, of course, we know the obvious overreaction of Arch isn't made out to be what he is, but I feel like you can justify losing at Ohio State in week 1.
I think
it's not going to kill your college football playoff, and you have I think I mean, quarterback wise the pressure is on both of them, but I think the other part of this is I think Texas wins the game. But
both of these teams are going to get the benefit of the doubt, by the way.
Yes, it's actually neither of them have more to prove because it's funny? Other people, games.
The loser of LSU Clemson
has more to prove.
The loser of Notre Dame Miami, devastated. I feel like this game is different because both feel like they got the goods, and over the course of a year, regardless of what happens, they're going to be like, okay, we'll do this. We'll see in a couple of months. So I do agree with that. I think that for as big of a game as that is, I think everyone's kind of willing to accept that the full story will still be told. I don't know if that's the case if LSU gets throttled.
Yeah. So we were going to do a segment, but for time, I'm going to scrap it. And it was if any top 25 teams will be upset. I don't really think anyone will, but do you have any locks?
Boise State, by the way, is one that...
Is that in locks?
They are. They're in locks.
Okay, so that's why I was like, all right, we'll get to Kramer's locks. Now, I need to introduce the segment that I decided on without your knowledge.
Correct.
You were going to run through your locks, and I'm either going to ride or die with them. So basically, riding them, die means not going with it. Sorry. Rather die.
So this is fun. You get to just fade if you so desire.
Yes.
Well, then, all right, we'll go one by one. This first one, we don't have to lead into much more. Ohio State -1.5 versus Texas. Now, interestingly enough, this line has come down. So it's been 2.5 for a while. It's now at 1.5 Ohio State. So clearly Texas is getting some support on the road. It doesn't shock me per se because of what Ohio State is replacing. I could see this line coming down a little bit more. I still like Ohio State. I know where you go on this one. We don't have to go in deep breakdown mode. You are dying.
I'm dying on this one. Sorry.
Okay.
Dying with this one.
I have a feeling this next one will be aligned on. Clemson -3.5 versus LSU. I have a stat for you, and this is going to be in locks. You should read it. But Brian Kelly is 0-3 in openers at LSU, and he's 2-8 in openers with LSU and Notre Dame. Now, I don't love these historical stats because I think sometimes it's just easy gambling fodder. But it does tell you that A, they've played some tough teams, and B, for whatever reason, they've not fared well out of the gate.
Was USC a tough team?
Well, they've played some tough teams, tough-ish, but they've not done well. I won money on that game, by the way. That was awesome. So I just have too many questions on this LSU team.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ride with you on this one, but my biggest question with LSU is yes, you have the number 1 transfer portal class in the country, but how well does that translate? Does it work like Florida State a few years ago, or does it take a little bit for it to get momentum? And against a team that's a well-oiled machine in every way, I don't know if that's gonna go well.
LSU is the more athletic team, and they're probably one of the most athletic teams in the country. But what was that?
Yes, they're run.
Clemson is also portaling, by the way.
Yes, little-ish.
Yeah.
Not in the same way, that's for sure.
I am curious what we do with with Nuss. I did look like if you listen to this pod last year, love me some Garrett Nussmeier. I think they've got to take some of the pressure off of him. I'm just not sure the defense is ready to do it. So Clemson minus 3.5, and you are on it. I think you're going to be off on this one too. I'm just guessing. I like UCLA +6 versus Utah. Now, I think Utah is going to win this game. It's so funny that this is not a conference game. It's kind of screwing me up in evaluating it because you're so used to seeing this. It's at UCLA. I thought UCLA played much better football down the stretch. They lost games, but the defense is pretty good. You've got Nico now, which I think is going to be a really big storyline, but I think it's a defensive team. UCLA could be a problem. And I think obviously Nico adds an element of intrigue to this offense. I don't think it's going to be a fully formed product. I just think that Utah, I actually don't hate the pick of them winning the Big 12, as odd as that sounds, but there's a lot of pieces that have to come together, including a quarterback that plays a very unique brand of football. So it would not shock me. It would not shock me if UCLA hangs close. Utah's going to win. UCLA is going to cover.
Okay, it's a die for me. Sorry.
All right, let's move on then. Notre Dame.
You wanted to do this. I don't know. This is what the people wanted, okay?
Well, yes, this is true. It's just like, shit pick. Next, please. Notre Dame, -2.5 at Miami. CJ Carr.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of. Obviously, if you listen to last week's show.
Share my love.
You know what a fan I am of his. I think that identity is better. I think this is a tale of two attitudes. And I said it. I just need to see it with Miami. Notre Dame loses some dudes. Notre Dame's got some weapons too. I love this pick, actually.
I'm going to ride with this pick.
All right. So what are we? We are 2-2 on riding and or dying. So enter the one we were just discussing. South Florida +5.5 versus Boise State. This is the line that Joe Average better is going to look at. They're going to say, oh, shit, they lost Ashton Jeanty, but still, South Florida kind of sucks, right? Oh, yeah, let's lay the points. That's what's going to happen here. It's going to be 1,000 degrees. South Florida was a little bit better than people expected last year. And I think Boise State, remember all the fucking around they would do early in football games last year?
Yeah.
Remember that? Well, they don't have their best player. They do have Maddox, the madman.
Maddox Madsen.
I think we're giving Boise State a little too much credit.
Okay.
This is a contrarian pick for me. I think South Florida covers the 5.5. I think they can win this outright.
Question.
Yes.
One, I'm gonna say I'll ride with you on this one. I'll give you. I'm a little wary, but I will ride with you on this one. Also, do we think that Tulane will be the Group of 5 team that makes the college football playoff because they have Jake Retzlaff? We haven't really talked about that.
You know, I don't think it's going to be Boise State. I thought James Madison's a team that I think could be really interesting too. But Tulane
always,
that's an interesting one as well. So I just think Boise, Ashton Jeanty is a once every 10-year running back, and it's really hard to replace that guy.
Yeah.
So I have other locks, by the way, but you can check those out on the Bleacher Report website or the Bleacher Report app.
Thank you so much. Yeah. That's where we need all the if you were the one of the people that voted, if you wanted to vote for this to be back on the pod and at the end of the pod, then you need to go read it on the Bleacher Report app and screenshot it and send us it in the DMs to show us that you were in the BR app reading it. We do have quite a bit of random shit to get to. First and foremost, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged, and we would be remiss if we didn't talk about this because one, I was recording a live show when the news broke.
That was great.
And at the very end of it, the producer told me in my ear that they were engaged, and I was in complete shock, but also very funny that was recorded. And I have that for the rest of my life to show my grandchildren. But I think there's been a lot of conversation around why do people care so much? And one, I'm curious, is your daughter a Swiftie?
Yes, she was very excited. She came home from school, and it was the first thing she wanted to talk about.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because I saw a group of dudes talking about, and I may or may not have gotten into some TikTok battles in the comments with some dudes about this, which is kind of stupid, honestly. So I regret it. So if you see them, know that I regret them. It's more just that, like, they're like, oh, guys would never be this excited about their, like, star quarterback or their favorite player getting engaged. And, like, yeah, it's different because we're emotionally invested. Like, she's been telling us about her love life in songs for decades. So, like, duh. Duh, we care more and it's more emotionally invested. But to sit there and be like, you wouldn't be excited if you found out that your favorite player, like, was getting married and, like, happy. I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were happy for Josh Allen, like, it's not at the same level, and no one's as famous as Taylor Swift, so that's not gonna happen. But to be like, oh yeah, bros don't care, that's not true. You guys care about their love lives.
First off, don't shit on anybody else's picnic. Just am I invested in this emotionally? Not particularly. My daughter is invested in it, so I'm invested in her being invested because it's kind of cool. She wanted to watch football games last year because of Taylor Swift. Cool. Like, I'm in. I think it's just kind of neat that this is actually worked out. This makes me nervous. Like, that this, like, unfortunately, it's like, oh my God. Like, you two, like, we got to keep this going because the bigger story, like, sadly, that's where I go. Like,
no,
don't fumble the bag here. Like,
but I will also say, for all the girl dads out there, like, a Kelsey brother is like the standard. You should be so happy that these are the two hooligans that we're all obsessed with, in Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey. Because it's like, you can be a, like, macho dude and kind of a dummy who does obnoxious things, but they're both incredible partners from what we've obviously seen very publicly. And I just love that.
Well, no, I think it's neat. People just like shitting on people just like shitting on things that are convenient to shit on.
Yes. And also, like, now it's his wife. Could we calm down in terms of, like, oh, I don't want to see her on my screen? Like, that's his wife. So if one, he's probably closer to retirement, and two, like,
yeah, this is it for him. Right?
Relax.
This
relax.
Is it. This is like all setting up to be.
He's gonna be like a stay-at-home dad, and it's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, he'll do the acting thing and all that, but he's gonna be like a very present dad.
Now
which is gonna be sick.
Somebody will pay him like $1 billion to come hang out on a Sunday afternoon to do it. I mean,
I don't think he'll do the full Jason where he'll actually have like a set, schedule and do it during the NFL season, because he'll do the pod. But I think he'll go more the artistic route. I think he'll do less football and be more entertainment, which, I mean, checks out. And he will have all that access. We've been doing this episode so long that a second train has passed. That's how long this week one episode is.
You know what though? It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my other random shit about my new planner for next week, because I forgot to bring it in the room to show you guys how thick it is. But I'm very excited about my new planner and organizer. I just want you guys to know that.
Let's see. Do I have random shit?
Can we talk about how yesterday we were on the phone, and I mean, maybe in the future Cameron will hate me for bringing this up, but I'm not going to say any names. I'm actually going to make up a name. We're going to go with Sally, because that's the little girl who is the daughter in Mad Men, and we're watching Mad Men right now.
Yep. Great
show.
So
your son Cameron was like, hey, I'm going to go to the park. And you're like, hey, who you go to the park with? And he was like, Sally. And you're like, oh, Sally. And you're like, oh, sensitive subject, not going to bring it up. And I was like, who's Sally? What?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, this guy's a little Casanova over here.
He is. Like, so I have a 10, soon to be 11-year-old. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. My 6-year-old Cameron will have the first significant other by far in this group. In fact, the word on the street is Sally is already there, right?
Oh, okay. Sally's already our girlfriend.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So there's the rumors in the house, like with the other two, are like, and he's also like the least awkward. Like, like when you and that goes boys, girls, whomever.
Well,
like,
I mean,
most of my kids suck at interacting, which is funny because I consider myself a pretty good interactor.
Yes.
Cameron's like, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? Like, hey, what's up? Like, and the other two are like, hello, I'm here for a play date. May I come inside? like, who the fuck? What? Why? So Cameron, who used to be, and it's funny from parenting, like people with kids, and you'll see this too. Like, you have this kid for like 4 years. It's like, my God, this kid is going to burn down our home.
Yeah.
And this will be a long time. And then all of a sudden hits an age. I'm like, wow, can this guy be my friend? Like he's very cool all of a sudden. So
he's
now
cool.
he's
You're like,
cool.
shit, he's cooler than me. Great.
He is. Yeah. And so
and soon he will be too cool for you, especially if Sally's around.
For sure. Yeah. Sally. I like the name Sally. By the way, Mad Men. Is this your first time through Mad Men? Oh,
I'm obsessed.
So good. Where are you? Season
5. I will tell you this.
Oh, so you're working your way through it.
I spend most of Mad Men being like, we'll be watching a scene and like they'll do some Mad Men stuff, and I'll look at Nick and I'd be like, murder. Like if you did that, murder. Like I don't think you understand. Like
there's a lot of
just really bad things. I was like, I'm sorry. Like literally just me going murder.
Yeah,
murder.
That show
every other episode. Just being like, if you did that, that would not end well. And I was like, also, I would be terrible in this time. I would have been way too mouthy for that time of life. And I know people are like, oh, okay, yeah, when you're in it, you're not that way. But no, I think I really would have been.
I would not have been a masculine pig, but drinking at the office and smoking as regularly as it would have been, like, buddy.
I definitely wouldn't have been a smoker. I know that. Even if it was cool. Back then, I can promise you I wouldn't be. I would have. Taste.
Yeah. No, I'm not a smoker.
I've never smoked a cigarette before. We don't have to disclose if you have or not.
Before, I smoke cigar. I'm not a cigarette smoker. I'm a cigar smoker.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I did have a cigarette. It's usually after 14 years. It's been a long time.
That's what I was going to say.
But
a lot of my generation is big on the post drinking cigs, which by the way, not condoning here. We're not pushing that.
We're also not shaming. It's great. Let's be fucking okay. But also, I'm a fidgety guy.
I'm shaming. I don't want anyone to die, get cancer. Don't do that.
Oh, see, you sound like
I'm such a mom in that way.
I'm getting like when I'll smoke a cigar, and I do not smoke cigars. In the summer, I'm like once a week, and then in the winter, I don't. But like, I had one of my kids' friends come up to me. I'm smoking a cigar, and he's like, "You're gonna die," and I'm like,
"Kids, man, they take it seriously."
No, I'm not.
By the way, one of my favorite things about you is that you do cigar walks. Like you'll go for a walk and have a cigar.
Cigar
You'll call
mows.
me. You're like, sorry, I'm going on a walk, and I'm like, he's like, got a cigar.
Walk, cigar mow.
Yes.
Golf course obviously is the best place for them.
Oh, speaking of, by the way, we don't have time to discuss this at length, but Tommy Fleetwood, shout out Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh,
that's all I have to say.
Fuck
yes.
Yeah. Like
in terms of like good guy awards, my gosh, yes.
All right, what else is there? I think
that's it. Besides the fact that please go subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are really, really pushing that, if you can't tell.
I will
follow us on social, but please go to YouTube. And for those wondering, tomorrow you're going to have a video of locks for our social account. I'm saying it here because Adam has to record it tomorrow morning when he gets to the office. Yes. He doesn't have to go through the process of posting it on Instagram because it wouldn't show up till Saturday. But
do I record it with my phone?
Yep. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be great.
Vertical?
You just set it up. Yep, set it up. Click it on. Talk.
What do you do? Do you just like hold it?
So I will say your back camera is probably a better option. However, that seems a little complicated for your first go around. Just videotape yourself doing like
my what camera?
Your back camera.
Like
this one. Oh, also you're a Droid person. Do you have a front? You have a front camera, right?
I mean, for fuck's sake, this isn't like the rotary telephone, okay? Like, Jesus. Like, do you have internet to upload this video once it goes?
I mean, you never know. Well, I could ask you to post it yourself.
I could. Where does it go? Where am I posting it? Is it like straight to Twitter? Like, what?
Twitter and Instagram, yes.
So, but like, this is 3, 2, 1, click, and then go?
Yeah, maybe set it. Do you have a tripod? Also, this is like a very fun.
You know what's funny? Somebody gave me one, and I was like, "What the fuck am I going to use this?" And I'm like,
"Now you're going to use it."
I would kill for that thing now, but I don't know where it is.
I will help you get the setup of that going. But
what I think I'm going to do is put it on my computer like this.
I cannot wait. Can you borrow Caitlin's phone and just record you trying to set it up? Record you
recording
the Inception.
Yes. How long is this supposed to be?
You're just reading your quick hits. Giving me.
But like, is it a minute or less?
Yeah, like a minute 30 or less. 90 seconds.
Is that the TikTok length?
No, it's just like that seems like a good length to.
All right.
Get your.
I'm a little nervous about this. Can I do this like right now? Got good lighting right now?
Yeah.
Not like right now on the pod. Although that could be hilarious.
Yeah, when you log off, maybe. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I'd be open to it. All right.
Fuck.
You got this. I believe in you. But
right.
thanks for hanging out. Enjoy week 1. We will talk
Cheers.
to you guys next week.